Welcome to On Point Live. I'm Michael Horn with the stars of our show, Legends in Football. We're talking about the one and only Vince Ferragamo from Super Bowl 14 in 1980. Seems like it was just yesterday, Vince, when you were out there with that cannon arm there. Number 15, Vince Ferragamo. Welcome to the show. Alongside Vince, we've got Hall of Famer, 7-time Pro Bowler, 4-time NFC Offensive Champion of the Year. He's an Offensive Lineman of the Year, the one and only number 78, Jackie Slater. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
How are you?
I'm good. We're ready to go here and analyze not only football today, but the most incredible World Series I think I've ever seen in my life.
We had a great time on Saturday night, didn't we?
Yes,
we were all
we did.
We had a great big get-together.
Yeah.
And everybody was
Hold
just
on a
going
second.
bonanza.
Hey, Corey, did you get your invitation?
I knew that was coming.
Man, you had to come in.
Listen, I got my invitation late, Mike. I got my invitation late, and I wonder where you and Corey were. I really did.
Let me look through it. Maybe it's in the mailbag.
We had some good Tenuta de Ferragamo wines. There was a lot of great stuff
Nothing
going
here.
on, Mike, there.
Looking in the mailbag. Must have got lost in the mail. I don't know.
But you should have seen how many eyes were glued to the TV in that
amazing.
7th game and that 12th inning or 11th inning.
Oh,
my
man.
God.
It was just.
Oh, jeez, it just went
I can't
crazy.
remember.
In that
I
room.
can't remember quite as much excitement around a World Series.
We're going to go game by game here, but let me just remind everybody, we're brought to you by our good friends at HarmonyCheese.com. Now, this is the nation's cheese farm. I'm telling you, this is the place in Wisconsin. That's where the best cows are. That's where the best cheese is, made from the most natural ingredients. Go to the website, HarmonyCheese.com, and order up your holiday cheeses now because Thanksgiving's coming up. So is Christmas and Hanukkah and all the holidays. So get the stuff ready. So in case you have a Super Bowl party and you forget to invite myself and Corey Marino, you can have some extra cheese to bring there and at least give us a little something to come over to the show. Also, our email, onpoint@crntalk.com. We want you to go ahead and use that so you can go ahead and send us your questions and comments and everything. And check out our website, onpointlive.net. Also, subscribe to our great YouTube channel. It's On Point with Vince and Jackie. Give us a like. We do enjoy that. And settle back, enjoy our show. We do a lot of great things here on the show. It plays at crntalk.com. It's on radio stations around the country, our flagship 790 KBC. So settle back, relax, grab that harmonycheese.com. We'll be back with more Jackie Slater, Vince Ferragamo, and On Point Live. Stay with us. Welcome back to On Point Live with the one and only Vince Ferragamo and Jackie Slater. Going to take a look at the World Series here with these gentlemen. Corey Marino is our producer here on the show here today. Let's kind of take the game one by one if we can, gentlemen. Jackie and Vince, let's start with game one. Come on, this was a pretty interesting game from the get-go there. It was the Blue Jays 11 and the Dodgers 4. Did not look good from the Dodgers from the start, Jackie.
And you know, I'm going to jump in and take this because I can remember sitting there and, you know, prepared to watch this great game with the Dodgers and Shohei and everything. And then what happens? What happens in the first inning? The Blue Jays win they win the first game, Vince. Yeah. And this guy, Addison Barger, steps up and smashes a grand slam on a pinch hit. And I'm thinking to myself, this has never happened before. They said this has never happened before. And I got to sit there and I got to enjoy the rest of the series thinking, we're out of it. We're out of it. I mean, I actually gave up on him after that one
Good
inning.
Fan,
man.
Jackie. Good fan.
Yeah, you know what? The first 2 games were away. We're in Toronto, and obviously you go there. You just got to be resilient. But you know, this is a team, Jackie, that never says die.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the circumstances are, what the score is. We got pitching. We'll have batting. We'll make the plays when we have to. And as we saw, as things turned out, if you're a Dodger fan, like our producer Corey was, and went to the parade and everything, things turned out in a great fashion. And it was just remarkable because watching every game, there was excitement in every game. You just didn't know what was going to happen.
Drama.
Who's going to step up, Jackie? Every player.
So much drama.
And, you know, it's great to see team sports and to see the kind of performances that we've had and the performance level of these players, they just stood out, Jackie. Everybody stood out in their own way.
In their own way, at their own time. And then to see Yamamoto, he speaks Japanese and a little bit of English, just like Shohei, but to hear him come out and say that losing was not an option in English.
Yes.
It just gave me so much more confidence in what I should have been having doing in that team as the games went along, Vince. I'm telling you, it was impressive.
Just
their
confidence.
Dodgers had home field advantage. They were sweeping, they sweep Milwaukee there. They just walked right through it. And we thought, all right, these guys are clicking at the right time. Finally, everything's going. We got starting pitching. We're using Sasaki there in the bullpen. It looked pretty good. And then an 11-4 defeat. It was dismal. You're right, Jackie. But we get to game 2, and the Dodgers pull a little magic string there. You're talking about your Yamamoto in this game here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And or was that the Blake Snell game? This is the game 2. Was
in game 2, that was a 7-inning homer by Will Smith and Max Muncy.
Yeah, that's right. So the Dodgers have Yamamoto in a good dominant performance, 5-1 over the Blue Jays. Now we got kind of a tied game. Vince, your thoughts there? You got a little renewed hope here?
Well, here we go.
Yeah.
The Dodgers caught their breath, Mike. I mean, after that 4-game sweep of the Brewers, I mean, they had laid off. They've been laid off for a few games, whereas the Blue Jays, having went to series with the Yankees, had to defeat them
to
come on and play. So they were fresh. But that was one of the mishaps of what happened in this game. But you saw Yamamoto step up. It's all about the pitching, isn't it not?
Yeah.
I mean, Blake Snell, Yamamoto, they came through. Even our man Ohtani.
Yes.
I mean, they all step up.
In game 3, how about Shohei in game 3?
All right, Jackie,
unbelievable.
come on, talk about this.
9 times on base,
Never been
2 home runs, 2 doubles. I mean, and this,
4 intentional walks.
They
should have started walking him from after the first hit.
Yeah,
Jackie.
but I was a little bit. I'm one of those guys that's thinking, okay, all of our bats are dead. They're gone dead. Nobody's really hitting. Shohei is the guy. Why take him and pitch him? Why use him as where he's got to do all of these? Now, I guess Shohei, I guess that's what he wants. I guess that's a part of the agreement that he had.
He likes to pitch. He says he likes to pitch more than
he likes to pitch, but man, it seems like that bat was the most important thing to me early in the series.
But this is a marathon game. This was people are saying this was the greatest World Series game of all time.
18 innings.
To watch it the way it went back and forth. The 18th.
And who hits the home run, Mike? Who hits the home run?
Your buddy Freddie Freeman from your high school, right?
How about
right,
Freddie?
Exactly, man.
How about Freddie?
Come on, the fans yell, Freddie. I mean, they get into it. Everybody just comes to play. And, as much as we talk about the players, all these games really boil down to the managing and the coaching. And give a lot of credit to Dave Roberts.
No doubt about that.
He's caught heat in the past, but why do you do this? Why do you do that? But, his decision-making was remarkable.
It was.
How he comes up with these players, puts them in position, and they make the plays.
And they make plays.
Let me ask you guys a question. You played for a lot of different coaches. You guys were playing. You're on the ground. You're making the things happen. You're looking at the field, making it happen. What if you're coaching your football team, or what if you're managing your baseball team? How does your stomach not fall out of its gut sitting there when you say, I'm going to put in so-and-so, and the guy either produces or doesn't? And then you got some dumb rules in baseball, like if you put a pitcher in relief, they got to pitch to 3 guys before you can pull them out.
Right.
Well, you go with your convictions, right, Jackie? I mean, you got to go with your heart, what you feel is right. And I think a lot of this, all this talk about, timing and when you're going to make decisions, and if I'm going to look at analytics or am I going to go with a gut reaction. I think Dave Roberts almost took into the fact now that I'm going to go with my gut feel.
Yeah, but Vince, more importantly, those gut feels were based on a whole lot of investigation.
Yes.
He knew every single player on his roster better than you and better than me. There's no doubt about that. And he knew what their strengths were. I heard a guy on the radio said, I've been doing radio here in Los Angeles for 35 years. And at one point in time in the season, there were 3 players. They called the name of 3 players. And Kike was one of those players that deserved not to be on the roster. Kike is on the roster and is a major contributor because Dave decided that this guy brought something special and unique to our team, and we're going to use it. And that's exactly what happened.
He's clutch.
He showed up. He showed up in the playoffs.
He knows what he needs. Jackie, we spoke to Dave Roberts in the preseason, at the end of preseason, and he told us to keep an eye on Will Smith. He's going to have a turnout season.
Yeah.
You know, who hit the game-winning run for the Dodgers to win Game 7?
Right.
I mean, he steps up. He just knows the personnel. He knows the timing of it all. It's so much about timing. When do you put him in? When do you pull him out? Right? I mean, because we all have replacements.
Dave Roberts says he trusts his players, and so the Dodgers come back to L.A. The series is split 1-1. The Dodgers win that 18-inning longest game innings. A little bit longer than the other 18-inning game time-wise,
right.
6-5. You get into Game 4. The Dodgers are at home. You think, all right, this is going to work for the Dodgers. Blue Jays come right back.
Come roaring back.
6-2. You know?
They came roaring back.
It was a game of reversals. I mean,
Yes.
the Blue Jays win 1, the Dodgers win 2, the Blue Jays win 2, and the Dodgers come back on the road thinking, oh, my gosh, they got a 30% chance of winning this World Series.
Oh, my
what
goodness.
happens?
Oh, my goodness.
You had a better chance of a 30% chance of showers. Let me tell you, had Shohei Ohtani on the mound. It gives up 4 runs, in the game. So now the Dodgers, now the series is 2-2, and, you're going to have to go back to Canada there, to Toronto. You go to Game 5 in Los Angeles. The Blue Jays 6, the Dodgers 1. Now,
Game
you're
6.
sitting there. You got to win both games when you go back.
But, doesn't
games.
defense win championships? We've said it all along. It's in football. It's in baseball. What about that catch that Andy Paez made, bumping into Kike Hernandez?
No.
That
Kike,
was the game winner.
There's no doubt in my mind. Kike may not.
He might not have caught that. He would have catch that ball over his
There's
shoulder.
no way he was going to
Jackie.
catch that ball.
No way.
He was running too hard and looking over the wrong shoulder. There was no way he was going to catch that ball.
Thank God Andy was in the game at that
time.
time.
When he came over, he just dominated that space. He didn't care about knocking anybody down or anything. He just went up and got that ball. And that was a beautiful.
And Mookie Betts with the double play.
Oh,
and
my
then,
goodness, at the end.
How about Miguel Rojas?
That was the first guy.
And Max Muncy. And everybody just keep going down the list.
Kind
I was
of
talking
excited.
to Corey Marino, and he said the first person that knew that game was over was Freddie Freeman because that heat in his hand.
How about that catch that Rojas made to double him up?
Oh, my
And
a
the
break.
throw to get the guy out
still-
at home plate. Oh,
I'm still in Los Angeles. I haven't even taken it back to Toronto. We will when we come back. Stay with us. It's On Point Live. Brought to you by Harmony Cheese. Get some good cheese. Be the big cheese in your home by getting the good cheese at harmonycheese.com. It's great. On Point Live. Gmail us. onpoint@crntalk.com. onpoint@crntalk.com. Welcome back to On Point Live. Don't forget, check out our website, onpointlive.net. Subscribe to our On Point Live YouTube channel, On Point Live with Vince and Jackie. Check it out every week. Go to our sponsor, our harmonycheese.com. Harmony, HARMONY cheese.com. Don't forget to mention CRN Talk when you check out. You get 10% off your order when you go to harmonycheese.com. Order up that cheese for the holidays. I'm Michael Horn with Vince Ferragamo and Jackie Slater. We're recapping the World Series just because it's so much fun to do it. Now we get to Game 6. We're back in Toronto, and we were kind of talking about here just before the break. And you got Game 6 going. It looks bad for the Dodgers, but they come roaring back in this game. The Dodgers beating the Blue Jays 3-1, but it wasn't all that easy. I mean, it looked like the Blue Jays had momentum there. There was a play in there, Jackie,
we never
where
seen
a
that
ball gets hit into center field and gets lodged in the between the fence and the ground.
Right.
And this Dean character, this
Justin Dean,
Justin Dean,
the center fielder.
And my first thoughts were, pick up the ball, man. Are you out of your mind? Pick the ball. And he threw both hands up, and then
smart.
And then the second guy comes over and he throws both hands. And I'm thinking, what's going on right here? Why are the guys picking the ball?
A dead ball.
It's a dead ball rule. Were you aware of that rule?
Well,
I wasn't aware of it.
The dead ball rule, generally, Jackie, the ball hits and goes over the fence out of play, so it's a ground rule double.
Right.
Okay, but this was hindrance. You could have grabbed the ball. Now, if he would have touched that ball.
If he had touched the ball, the runners kept going.
They both would have scored.
They both would have scored.
Game was over.
Go back to the old Chicago Cub ivy walls over there, and they'd have a ball that would get hit and get stuck in the ivy.
That's right.
And they'd put their hands up, and that would be a ground rule double
Ground
or whatever
rule
because it was
double,
lost in
Runner
the
stop.
At Wrigley Stadium,
the Wrigley Field there. So I just think it's great that the kid knew the rules here.
Right.
What's going
It was
on.
smart. It was very clever of him to say that because that stopped the advancing of the runners.
Absolutely.
So now it's all tied up, 3 games apiece. Winner takes all. The entire season comes down to 1 game. That's it. Game 7. And it starts out thinking the momentum has to be on the Dodgers' side. Vince Ferragamo, is it at the beginning?
Well, you know what? It's never say die, as we said at the beginning.
No, the answer is no.
Yeah, no.
The
Dodgers.
No.
The answer is
Dodgers going to
Come
win
on.
this game. They're going to come out. They just won't quit. I mean,
Toronto
they were
had a late
behind late in the
lead.
game.
Yeah,
they were
but
down
that's
4-1.
Vince, that's all hindsight.
I know.
That's
Come
looking
on.
back at it.
Yeah, I
at that
know.
particular time, we're
But they
thinking
were-
there's no way we're going to win this game here at their home place.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
Two words.
I was
Two
confident.
words. Miguel Rojas, Miggy
That's
Ro.
it.
Did you see the look on Dave Roberts' face when Miguel Rojas hits the home run? Dave didn't believe it at first, and when it
believe it.
caught on, he had a look of total disbelief, and he grabbed his head to make sure his cap was still on.
Well, I would almost say he was the MVP instead of Yamamoto, but everyone deserved to be an MVP. But he
There were
made
so many
defensive
MVP
plays.
moments, a lot of MVP moments.
Jackie, did you see the catch he made that Kike threw to him at second base to
Yes.
double up the runner?
Yes.
On a great catch?
Yes,
That was
yes.
unbelievable. Then he makes a throw to home plate, which is the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 9th to get the force out at home plate.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
Come
that was
on,
a tying
I mean,
run,
every
wasn't it,
play
to
was
Corey?
critical, and they did it to perfection.
was
All of the
something
guys
else.
handled the pressure
mean,
moments
come on.
beautifully, I thought.
This game goes into
that's
extra
confidence.
innings. Extra innings. This game goes on to, and then what did Dave Roberts tell you who to watch in the spring training there, Vince?
Will Smith.
What happens
and
there in
he
the
caught
11th inning?
every inning,
Caught every inning.
all the 18 innings.
And in
I
the
mean,
11th inning of Game 7 of the World Series,
Right.
he crushes a go-ahead home run.
Go-ahead home
Remember,
run.
they're the visiting team.
You
They
know,
st-
I gotta
was
be
beautiful.
honest
It
with
was
you guys.
beautiful, man.
That doesn't surprise me because to me, I'm always transferring skills to one skill to another opportunity to use that same skill. And here's a guy that's caught every single game. He's sitting back there watching the bat, watching the pitchers for every single game. Don't you know that that's the guy that I want hitting for me in a crucial situation?
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because he has a keen eye for where the ball is going and how they're throwing the pitches. And I mean, I always expect big things from
And
my
credit
catcher.
Max Muncy, too, Jackie, because he started it off. It was Max Muncy. Then it went to Rojas. Then to Will Smith. I
Right,
mean, it's just
right.
confidence breeds confidence, Mike. And,
Dodgers
in
become-
the
yeah.
dugout, I mean, you talk about it. I mean, these guys are just ready to go out and make a play.
Dodgers become the first back-to-back champions in 25 years since the Yankees did it. The Yankees have like 27 championships. Give me a break.
Right, and
I
they
think
did
the
it 3
Cardinals
times
have
in a row,
about
I think,
12.
last time, right?
The Dodgers are now solely in third place with 9, and then you got San Francisco, I think, and Oakland with 8, and maybe Boston there with 8, and there you have it. So
Well, you had so many great teams over the years, Mike. And I remember being a Dodger fan from a young age because I grew up in Southern California, watching the Dodgers 1963. Jackie Koufax pitching in the World Series. They took on the Yankees. They beat the Yankees, and it's something that just resonates with you all over the years. And then who's looking down? Tommy Lasorda. I mean, the Kurt Gibson thing. They're the smile on their face. They have to be so happy that the Dodger blue has prevailed. You know,
I was at that Kirk Gibson game. That was,
you were?
The stadium was just went nuts.
Oh, my God. See him
Unbelievable.
You're lucky you were
Guy
there.
limping around the base.
Limping around the
man.
bases.
Hey, get out of the training room. Get up here and hit. I need you to get a hit. That's how it is.
And
That's
what
like
did-
Dave Roberts telling what's his name, get in there. Go in there, Rojas. The last 2 games he played. Game
And
6
what-
and Game 7, he
Calling on
turns out to be.
Yamamoto.
And
Calling on
Yamamoto, he's in the dugout. I mean, go
Losing
pitch.
is
We need to
not
quit-
an option. He spoke in English.
Hey, but the best
Yamamoto.
quote with Freddie Freeman, we can move on, Michael. After game, they win one World Series. They win World Series the second in a row. He says, now it starts today to win the third World Series. Starting today, which was yesterday during their beautiful fanfare and celebration.
Corey
and
Marino was
parade.
there. Corey, what was it like to be out there on the parade route?
It was fantastic. I was on that Grandin Figueroa, and right where they had the turn to go for the home stretch, and the fans were great. Everybody was happy. Nothing bad happened. Nothing crazy happened. We were all just having a great time.
You got a video of that, Corey?
I do. We'll have it up for next week because I got to find a better
that's
one.
Great. Oh, yeah,
But yeah, there was
How about
like
the guy
guys.
sitting up on the traffic light.
Yeah, he was on the
Guy
traffic
sitting
light.
up on the traffic light, man,
taking video.
They were having so much fun up there.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. It was a great time.
And the stadium was packed too after the parade.
wow.
Yeah, the parade leads into the stadium rally where all the people get to talk to the fans and say what they did this year and what it meant to them, and it was really fun.
Kershaw's retired now. Kind of emotional. I'll tell you.
You hate to
Old
see the good
22.
ones. You hate to see the good ones step down.
All right, let's get into something we know a little bit about,
All right, let's
football,
talk
or we think we do. Let's kick it off here with the Rams and the Saints. This game, a historic game last week here. The Rams beating the Saints. What was the score in that thing there?
34 to 10 or something.
To 10, yeah.
You
Was
used
it
the right
10?
word. You used the right word. It was a beating.
Yes, it was a beating.
It was a beating.
He
Well, you know
dominated
what?
the
Dominate. Gosh,
yeah,
Mike, you know what the
Stafford.
time of possession was in that game?
What?
43 minutes for the Rams. Almost 44
Unbelievable.
minutes to
43
16.
minutes and 53 seconds.
Wow, every second counts, right, Jack?
It was
Hey,
unbelievable.
but the other team had the ball 16 minutes, like
16
one
minutes.
quarter.
I don't know
So
if
you
I
watch the offense out there for 3 quarters. Why do you think Matt Stafford had 4 touchdowns? He leads the
Absolutely.
league with 21 touchdown passes.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And you have to look at this, and Jackie and I were talking. So here's the old pendulum. Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford. I think the pendulum switched over to Matthew
Yeah.
Stafford last
It's,
week.
the
Well, it goes
pendulum,
week to
the
week, doesn't it?
pendulum is going to continue to swing until both these guys are sitting in the chairs like Vince and I and looking back on their careers.
And doing
Matthew
OnPoint
Stafford,
Live.
to me, the Rams go as far as Matthew Stafford is able to take them. And I felt that way the whole time this offseason when he was dealing with the back and gradually getting worked back in and all of that. Now he's up to snuff now, Vince. He's operating like he did when he was in his prime, and he knows that. And I'm always interested in hearing Sean McVay, shower his players with praise, particularly those of them that are doing things correctly. And he says that Matthew Stafford had full control of our offense. In other words, he has sit down with Matthew Stafford. He has told him this is the game plan. This is what I want to do, why I want to do it. And they are on the exact same page, Vince. And
Very
Matthew
detailed.
Stafford is a guy that's capable of operating like a coach on the football field, and we see it every single
Why
week
do you
with
think,
him.
Jackie, after all these years? Because he got guys like Devontae Adams stepping up, Puka
Oh, yeah.
Nacua, and he's getting good protection. And it's the culmination of all the hard work that's put in, Jackie, and the evolution of timing. They have it down. Now they're starting to get to that point, and they're having a lot of production, Mike.
Vince, there's another
good.
thing that's going on with the Rams that I don't know that many people are aware of, but they use 13 personnel a large percentage
almost
of the time.
50% of the time.
Almost 50% of the time. Now, for our fans who don't know what that means that they're using 3 tight ends. And if you think back now, McVay was the tight end coach at the Washington Commanders, one of his earlier jobs. And I can just see him figuring out, if I was in charge, I could take these 3 guys and line them up in tight formation and do this and do that and the other.
Right.
And he's doing it with some good pass catchers at that tight end position led by Tyler Higbee. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a complete and sheer dominance of this Rams offense and picking up speed, picking up that dominance as we go further into the season because they're doing things that nobody else is doing right now.
And it just adds to his flavor of play calling with the running game, Jackie, because he likes to involve the receivers in blocking schemes.
Right.
To believe it or not. And with 3 tight ends, you got a little bit better blocking than you do wide receivers
A whole
blocking.
lot better blocking.
So I'll tell you, key stat of the day, Matthew Stafford throwing 4 touchdown passes. You only need 2 to get a free jumbo jack at Jack in the Box the following day. So I was there getting my jumbo
and those 4
jack with my
touchdowns
large
were against the blitz, Mike. So they were putting
exactly
heat
right.
on him.
Yeah, that's really something there. You're right, against the blitz. All right, we got to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to recap the rest of the games, get you ready for this weekend with some of the greatest picks you'll ever hear. HarmonyCheese.com is our sponsor. They are giving you some of the greatest cheese for the holidays. Make sure and mention CRN Talk when you check out. You get 10% off your order. HarmonyCheese.com. Email us onpoint@crntalk.com. Send questions to Vince Ferragamo and Jackie Slater. onpoint@crntalk.com. We'll be back. Welcome back to On Point Live. I'm Michael Horn with the stars of our show, Vince Ferragamo, Jackie Slater from the Rams, and we're kind of taking a look as they're recapping last weekend's games. Let's take a look, gentlemen, at the Bills and the Chiefs. This could have gone either way here. It's the Bills 28, the Chiefs 21. Good play by the Bills, Jackie.
Yeah, really good play by the Bills, and I think one of the things that they did that may have tipped the hat in their favor was they deployed more secondary guys than they did your traditional defenses where you got linebackers. They had they played nickel and dime defense most of the day, and Patrick Mahomes had trouble finding those receivers and those really precise patterns that Andy Reid is always diagramming and drawing up. I really thought that Buffalo made some steps forward in competing against them, and I think that what's the differential right now, Vince? It's something like 11 to what is the one-loss differential between these two teams at this point?
Well, during the regular season, obviously the Bills control it. They've won the last 5 matches.
Right.
Okay, but in the postseason, Jackie, the Chiefs have done better. But I agree with you. I think that the Bills' platform of success basically stems for additional defensive backs. They use 8 defensive backs in different schemes and coverages, doubling, Rashid Rice, doubling Xavier Worthy, those kind of guys.
Blitz in the secondary.
Blitz, and their pass rush was very effective because Patrick Mahomes was under pressure probably 48% of the time, which is the most he's ever, and he's threw under 50% completion. So it made it difficult on the Chiefs. But the Chiefs are that kind of team that will find a way. They almost came back at the end of that game. But credit the Bills, credit Josh Allen, the fans playing at home. They were ready in a way that I really think caught the Chiefs a little bit by surprise simply because of their design of their defensive schemes.
Yes.
Where, it was a little mind-boggling for someone who's really sharp intellectually to look at what they're doing to try to defend us. And remember, it caught us a little off guard.
Remember, their head coach, the Buffalo Bills head coach, is a defensive-oriented guy.
Yes, McDermott.
So McDermott's going to be sitting there trying to figure out how can I throw a wrinkle at Andy Reid and get away with it without him hurting me there.
He certainly
There's no
did.
doubt about that.
Tough game for the Chiefs, but they'll be bouncing back.
All right, now we had the Cowboys at home playing the Cardinals, and
Not a good look.
Surprise, the Cardinals 27, the Cowboys 17, Vince.
Yeah, just looking at that game, I think the Cardinals stepped up their pass rush, what they were able to defend in the red zone when the Cowboys moved the ball the way down to score. They stopped them cold many times. I just don't think
it was a little surprising.
Yeah, I don't think Dak Prescott and C.D. Lamb were on the correct timing of a lot of the plays, Jackie. It just like the one-time critical pass, third down. They had loose coverage. A simple passing catch one-on-one was batted down. So the timing of the play, you have to be very much detailed and very precise of when you're breaking your route, when you're going to throw the ball, how do I anticipate the receiver? And it just they weren't on the same page. And I think that's been, a result of their entire team, the way they've been performing. And certainly, Jerry Jones making moves on defense, trying to bolster their defense a little bit. They just can't stop anybody.
Yeah, that's been an issue. But on the other side of the ball, Vince, we've got to give a lot of credit to Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, for sure.
I thought he was steady in the pocket. He had a couple of throws that he missed, but he was more consistent than I've seen a quarterback be with this team in a while. And I was quite frankly surprised at his accuracy and his consistency.
He's been doing it, Jackie, the last few weeks.
Yeah, the last few
they're
weeks,
a different team with him as opposed to Kyler Murray.
Absolutely. And I was comparing him now to some of his other stops, where I thought that he would probably not as well coached at in the passing game as he is right now. So that happened. And then Marvin Harrison Jr., he stepped up big. This guy,
he likes what he sees on offense.
He
now,
could
Jackie.
not be covered. And Vince, you made an interesting point to me, and I never really think about this. But, I would imagine that a big receiver like Marvin Harrison Jr., when he runs a route and he turns around and looks for the ball, he likes to see that ball coming out of that quarterback's hand.
Right.
And with Kyler Murray, this is a bit of an issue when you're under 6 feet tall and standing in the pocket and throwing
right. When you're
passes.
on the move, outside's different. But when you're in the pocket, you throw most of the time in the pocket.
Exactly.
And so you need to be able to see that release point.
And I thought that was a plus for Marvin Harrison in that passing game. He had his best day of the year.
Good to Jacoby Brissett. I'm glad to see he's doing well.
Speaking of getting the job done, Minnesota on the road beating Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions in that game 27-24.
Yeah, that was a tight game. It came down to the field goal at the end, but J.J. McCarthy, bounced back. I mean, he's got Kevin O'Connell there to teach him, and I think he's fired up. He's ready to go. I'm just not a huge believer in his ability as a quarterback in the NFL. I know he's done well in college. There's a little bit of a separation. There's a little bit more of, just the overall totality of the quarterback, the qualities of the quarterback. Okay, I'm just saying it takes a lot more than just running the ball or throwing it. I mean, it's a lot.
I've never known anybody look at a quarterback more thoroughly than you.
Yeah.
And this is this is from everything like being too short in the pocket where the receivers can't see you to having an inability to scramble at all, no legs, and then having an arm that can't make the very difficult throws. Vince breaks down a quarterback.
Throwing motion, mechanics,
as
foundation,
well as anyone.
It's all important.
And from day one, he has been saying that Mr. McCarthy is a little on the frail side. And he concerns himself with it being broken off. But apparently, Vince, he had a pretty decent day. So
he did.
Kevin did a good job with the game plan for them going into that game against the Lions.
So let's look at another quarterback here. Let's look at the old-timer squad. Aaron Rodgers there. Steelers 27, Colts 20. Vince, we'll start with you.
That's all about the defense. 6 turnovers for the Steelers. They pumped it up. They got T.J. Watt just riled up, ready to go. They
5 sacks. Don't forget about the 5 sacks.
6 turnovers, Mike. 3 interceptions, 3 fumbles. It was tough. Jonathan couldn't get running. Jonathan Taylor just couldn't run the football that well against the Steelers at home. The Steelers stepped it up. They know the ingredients to winning football. And it starts on defense. And then Aaron Rodgers just took over on offense.
Aaron Rodgers, you can't say enough about this guy. And I've had some people say to me that if you were to look at some of the top passers to have ever played in the National Football League, that this guy Aaron Rodgers has as much touch and variety in the way he can deliver the ball to you as anybody.
Jackie, the look on his face, I think they gave him a new helmet.
You think so?
Steelers,
was his head being squeezed?
Yeah, it's like, before it was like squeezed in too much, but now
maybe they did give him
he's
a new
opened
helmet.
it up a little bit.
What it takes?
Give him a little bit more room. Give him a little bit more room for that big head.
You got to see the plays develop,
It's pretty good. I'll tell you. Colts, we thought were the best team in football. Not
we
last
certainly
week,
did.
I'll tell you.
They're not gone. They're not disappearing.
No, they're not disappearing, but they disappeared last week.
Well, they did.
Jackie, you were waxing poetic about the Chargers, and they took on the Titans 27-20.
I was a little bit, the big thing for me is that I know and I sense that Harbaugh wants to have a physical football team. He wants to dominate with his offensive line, and they have invested in their offensive line. Yeah. Unfortunately, this year they've been decimated with a rash of injuries to the key positions on the offensive line. They started off by losing the Slater kid at left tackle. Yeah. They had just paid him like one of the top left tackles in all of pro football, and he's done for the year. So then they take their highly prized young John Ott, move him over there. They're winning game every game he played. Every game he played, they won. Now they just lost him to a high ankle sprain that's going to require surgery. So they just traded for a guy from his name is Dean, I think his name is. They just traded for this offensive tackle, and so hopefully he'll come in and be able to make a difference. But, man, they've been dog bit, snake bit, if you will, by injuries, all year long, Vince.
Yeah, we just had that trade deadline, Mike, and it just expired. But some teams have
Trevor
improved.
Penning is the guy that they traded
He's going to help the Chargers on the offensive line. But Sauce Gardner with the Colts, so a good defensive back, one of the top defensive backs in the league, along with Surtain and those kind of guys. They'll make a big difference. So they're recognizing what they need to move forward, and a player like that could really make a big difference. And
Seahawks are looking good,
I do
gentlemen.
like the Chargers, though.
Seahawks 38, Commanders 14. Commanders are disappearing here on us, Vince.
Well, Jalen Daniels, he suffered that elbow injury late in the game.
It was very gross.
It's just a culmination of things that are happening with Dan Quinn's team. They weren't from the start. They weren't really prepared and ready to go. They had the McLaren problems with signing him on a contract, who was a key player last year with Jaden, and their defense is not playing well, and the Seahawks are just playing lights-out football. They're probably one of the top teams in the NFL this year, believe it or not. Mike McDonald's got them going, Jackie.
He's got them going. And what did I tell you about Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
The receivers in Jigba and anyone else that they're throwing the ball to in Seattle are happy.
And who else is coaching them?
They're happy.
And why?
Because they're very, very successful. Sam Darnold, 4 touchdowns, 17 straight completions, Vince. Yeah. This is the guy that they let go in Minnesota, who I think should still be in Minnesota. Sam Darnold he was a number 3 overall pick. He ran into some rough times, Vince, as you said, in the playoffs. And I know they want to judge you by your last game. Yeah. But this guy knows what he's doing, man. The coaching that he's run into for the last couple of years is making a huge difference.
Jack, he was 21 of 24, 88% completion percentage. That's 330 yards.
That's
4 touchdowns, a quarterback rating of 141.
Unbelievable.
Why do you let a guy like that go?
I don't know, but especially when you're playing 2 wide receivers, $30 million to be jumped.
They had a great relationship with him. Now look at Njigba and what has Cooper Kupp brought to this team.
Oh, my goodness.
Coaching behind the scenes from day one in preseason.
Did I not tell you that Cooper Kupp was going to be one of the most valuable
You don't like him on the field, use him as a coach, as a player coach.
He is standing on the sideline and talking to this Njigba was getting open. They want a defender within 5 yards of him a minute.
What do we used to say about Cooper Kupp? You can't cover him. You can't cover Njigba now. Why?
Because he's learning from Cooper Kupp.
Well, thank you.
And Cooper Kupp is spending time communicating with them.
Come on.
And think about it. This is a similar offense.
Yes.
To the one that Darnold was in last year. To the one that he was Cooper Kupp played in at the Patriots. Right. And it's going to be the game that I'm looking forward to seeing is the Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. I am so
That's coming
interested.
Up. That's coming
up. If you think
2-minute warning in this segment here. We got to go Jaguars 30, Raiders 29. Your thought, Jackie?
Oh, Jaguars.
Well, I mean, both these teams are, they're hanging on by the chin, hairs on their chin. But the Jaguars, I think right now, and Vince is trying to convince me that their quarterback is a much better quarterback than Geno there with the Raiders, and that remains to be seen. I know they're paying him a whole lot more.
Showed up a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, one showed up a little bit yesterday. But I think Jacksonville they're a team that has to be dealt with. They have to be contended with, and I don't know, Vince. Lady Luck might be on this side. I've never seen a quarterback fall down in the pocket twice and get up and
score a touchdown. And how about Cam Little hitting a 68-yard field goal?
Yeah.
The longest field goal in the history of the NFL.
Bears 47, Bengals 42, Vince.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, they're tied in. Colston Loveland caught that game winner at the end. And I'm telling you, Ben Johnson's, the whole team is just playing according to what he teaches.
He's a good coach.
Okay, he's a good coach. They scored 47 points.
Got to be up for Coach of the Year.
Come on.
You're going to make Corey upset if you don't mention the Broncos 18, the Texans 15.
Bo Nix is throwing the ball like he's supposed to throw the football.
And the
Beautiful.
Panthers 16, Packers 13.
They ran the ball right through the Packers. Packers just don't show up sometimes.
Their quarterback
Harmony
is
cheese.
efficient.
They got to eat more Harmony
Their
cheese.
quarterback
man. They
is
gotta get going.
efficient, and they're running the ball. The resurgence of the running game.
That's
Vince.
right. In every game.
Speed picks are coming up for you. Don't forget to check out our website, onpointlive.net. Get some cheese. When they're talking about cheese, they're talking harmonycheese.com. The cheese of Vince Ferragamo and Jackie Slater brought the Dodgers a win in the World Series, for God's sakes. Mention CRN Talk. You get 10% off. Jackie's putting an order in right now. We'll take a break. harmonycheese.com. It's On Point Live. Jackie Slater and Vince Ferragamo. They'll be right back. Welcome back to On Point Live. I'm Michael Horn with Vince Ferragamo, Jackie Slater, and our producer Corey Marino. Time for Speed Pick. Yes. Indianapolis at home against the Atlanta Falcons. I like Indy. Vince.
I like Indy too. Sauce Gardner's on their team now. He's going to be a big addition.
I'm going with the Colts also.
Corey.
Colts it is.
Tampa Bay at home against New England. Corey.
I'm going with the Baker and the Bucks.
Ooh, you are.
Vince?
I'm going with the Patriots, man. Make it 7 in a row.
I'm going with the Patriots as well.
I like the Patriots as well, too. New York Jets against Cleveland. Jackie?
I'm going with Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns for me.
Me too. Corey?
Make it 4 for 4 Browns.
Oh, wow.
Houston Texans going at home against Jacksonville Jaguars. Corey?
I'm going to go with the Texans.
Ooh, I'm going with the Jags, Mike, on that one. 5
I'm
and 3.
going with the Jaguars also. Their quarterback has not been concussed lately.
This is a tough game for me. I'm better defense on Houston. I'm going Houston.
Ooh.
Miami Dolphins against the Buffalo Bills. I'm going Bills. What do you think, Jackie?
I'm going Buffalo as well.
Well, after last week, I'm going with the Bills, too.
Yeah, you can't not take the Bills here.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears at home against the New York Giants. Corey?
I'm going with the Chicago Bears.
I'm there, too.
Soldier Stadium, Chicago Bears.
Bears here as well.
Minnesota Vikings at home against the Baltimore Ravens. Vince?
Did you see the Ravens play last week? They're going to do it again this week.
I agree. What, he throw 4 touchdowns?
He's unbelievable.
Baltimore
Corey?
Ravens.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going with Lamar and the Ravens.
Me too. All right, Carolina Panthers against at home against the New Orleans Saints. Jackie?
I'm going with the Saints.
I'm going with the Packers. They've been running the ball. I'll go with
The
those
Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah, I'm going with the Panthers too. Can't believe it, but I'm going that way. Corey?
Yeah. Yep, I'm picking the Panthers.
Guys. Ooh.
I'm the only one that picked the
All right.
Saints.
Seattle Seahawks at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Vince?
Well, the Cardinals been playing good, so has Seattle, but Seattle's been playing better. So I'm going with the Seahawks.
I'm going with the Seahawks as well.
I'm there too. Corey?
4 for 4 Seahawks.
Washington Commanders at home against the Detroit Lions. Corey?
I'm going with the Lions.
I'm there too.
Lions bouncing back.
Lions for me. No Jaden Daniels in Washington.
49ers at home going up against the Rams. I'm going with the Rams. Vince?
I'm going 49ers.
I'm going with the Rams.
Corey?
Your
Rams,
turn, coach.
ram it
Your
all
turn,
day.
coach.
Chargers at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jackie?
I'm going with the Steelers.
I'm
Their
going
defense is
Steelers,
bouncing back.
defense.
Corey?
I'm going with the Chargers.
Ooh.
I'm going Chargers too.
Home
Green
team.
Bay at home against the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm
Start
going
with
with
Eagles all the way. Tush push.
Philadelphia. How did
on,
Green
man.
Bay lose
What do you
the
think,
game
Corey?
last week?
Going with the Eagles.
I'm there too. All right, that's our show. Don't forget harmonycheese.com, the cheese of champions. Check it all out and get us on our website, onpointlive.net. Email us, onpoint@crntalk.com. Vince,
What
wrap
did we
it up
say,
for us.
Jackie?
Stay
on point.
Point.